Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Thursday, June 26th, the last Thursday of the month of June. And we're in the halfway mark of the year. I am your coach today, Felicia Saracino. We are going to talk about a couple of fun things, and I'm hoping I don't have a text barrage of things coming through across my computer today, like I did yesterday. So today I want to start out really quickly with one or two wins, and then we have to move on because we have some really fun stuff that are happening. Does anyone want to share any wins that happened?
I am in my Facebook.
Yay! I know it sounds like so silly, such simple things, but sometimes those are the things that matter the most, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, getting it unlocked, I like realized how many followers I had and how like much I've built it just in the past 8 months. And yeah. So, by the grace of God, we got in.
That's fabulous. Congratulations. I know how stressful that can be. All right. Does anyone else have a win before we get started? We got a lot to talk about today in a half hour. Going once, going twice. Awesome. All right, moving on. So today I want to talk about a few things that I've been talking to a couple of our productive aging members about, and things that I think we need to kind of shed some light on to help smooth things out for everybody, but then also not only to smooth things out, but just to really get into this summer months right now, what's happening. Some of you, the summer is when you sell the most. Some of you, the summer is when it's your off season, and then some are kind of in between. And I have been talking to a lot of agents all over the nation to hear what's happening within their marketplace with real estate right now. Some are on fire, some are screeching halt, some are in the middle. So right now, the thing that I want everyone to really, really focus on is stop selling and start guiding. Your job is to be a trusted expert for seniors and someone who they call first. So right now, if you joined our masterclass last Friday, I gave you some tips on how to create that. And if you were not able to attend, the recording is up. And if you're not a member, you can join to be a member, because those 10 tips that I gave are 10 tips that I use and that other people have used as well to be very, very successful within their business. So I highly, highly recommend taking a look at that, because we're not going to go into that. It's way too in depth right now. So right now, you have to really be the center of where people are coming to for Q&A. That's the bottom line. You have to be known as the educator and be as authentic as possible. This is something that is happening all over social media if you haven't paid attention to it. And it is a trend, being your authentic self, showing people that, you don't have to have the most perfect video out there. You don't have to have the most perfect message. There have been times where I have recorded a video 17 times before putting it out. And guess what that only did? Wasted 2 hours of my time. I only got one lousy video out. And then I was overwhelmed because I was like, crap, I need to do another video. Well, I don't have another 2 hours to do that. So you being your authentic self with all of this, having your script by you, being your authentic self when you are, either trying to do a video or connecting on social media, it's okay to not be perfect, because done is better than not done. Right? Wouldn't you all agree? And right now, I want you all to really take a deep dive into your business and see what's working and what's not. The easiest way to do this is every day, I want you to have a notepad, a small little notepad, or something that you have a piece of paper on, something that you have. And I want you to write the day down. And then everything that you do in that day, I want you to write down because I want to see, and I want you after a week to be able to reflect on what are you doing all day? What's working? What's not? Also, do all of you know how to go into your analytics through emails that you sent or through your social media? Raise of hands. Okay. We'll probably do a class on this as well for another time. So I got to write that down so I don't forget. It's important to measure your success. Just writing notes because then you could see what's working. Now, if you have a lot of views on your social media, but you're not converting into clients, we have a disconnect. If you don't have a lot of views on your social media content and you're only getting 4 or 5 or 20 views, we have a disconnect. So there are some tweaks that you could do to help to drive that to have some sort of a harmonious balance for you. So number one is the new authority is the educator. Agents who teach win trust. So I have to follow my notes here today so I keep on track. And you could show up by doing so much value for your clients. You can do one-on-one short interviews on Zoom, record them. If you don't have a paid Zoom account, that's okay. There's a free Zoom account. It just has to be under 30 minutes of Zoom. You can just have a conversation, asking them about their business, put it up. Doesn't have to be perfect, less than 10 minutes. You have content. Workshops, where a lot of you I see are hosting some workshops at senior living communities, libraries, senior centers, places that you can get into, churches, whatnot. Resources, providing resources for folks, which I like to do in a form of a video. Like I just put one out the other day, the top 3 ways of how your estate planning helps you and what documents you need, something quick to the point and up at the top, right? We all kind of know if you have a driver's license, you should have a will and advance directives. That's a whole video right there, 2-3 minutes, done. Why you need it, okay? And then checklists. So your checklist can be your buyer, you have your buyer's checklist, you have your seller's checklist, you have your staging checklist. We all should have all of these pretty much from our brokerage or from whatever platform that you work with in far as real estate. Okay. But then you can have another checklist, a downsizing checklist. You could also have a moving into senior living checklist. You can have a resource checklist on navigating the process. And you can partner with your bod on creating a checklist. So maybe you partner with a move manager to create a checklist and you're both putting that out as a lead magnet, okay? Maybe it's a senior placement on navigating and things that you need to start thinking of, should I stay or should I go type of a deal, okay? So I'm giving you some tips. So that's number 1. Number 2, our senior clients don't want to pitch. They're smart. They want a guide. And when you are becoming the real expert in the senior space and you're providing them with information that is not only great information to put out there, but beneficial to them, you'll start seeing that shift occur. And folks will start calling you. They will start saying, oh my gosh, I see all the content that you're putting out on social media. My aunt is looking for senior living right now, but maybe they're not local. Maybe they're across the nation, but it's a start. Once you start seeing that shift, it's changing for you. Remember, people are watching your social media regardless if they're commenting or not. They do. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a woman call me who wanted to sell her condo, and she's 82 years old. And she said, I need to sell my investment condo. I already have a realtor, but I'm not using them. I'm using you because of what you're doing for our seniors in our community. You're the one who I want to sell my home. That meant more to me than anything else right then and there, because my content that I put out, and she does not comment on anything that I post on social media, but she sees it. And that is something that is very, very powerful for you. And it shows that sometimes, even though people aren't commenting, they're still acknowledging what you're doing and helping you and your business grow. Number 3, Paul talks about this as well. Language shift equals power shift. Stop saying words like, I can list your home, and start saying, let me walk you through your options and help simplify the next steps for you. Small changes in the words that we use can make or break your business. We all heard this before. We all know how terrible certain words can be for us. And if you're not comfortable with having someone listen to your calls and doing that, record them yourself and listen to play back. Put yourself in their shoes and see if the message that you provided is actually coming across the way you want it to come across. It's the best eye opener that you can do. You want to come across with information for them. You want to come across as empathetic, and you want to also be caring, because this is a caring business. We all know that this is not a quick sale. This is not a quick process. This sales funnel, working with our seniors, can be a little bit difficult. And remember, I just listed 2 properties. One, I started working with them in December. It's June, by the way, just as a reminder. The other one was January. It's June. It's taken them that long to get off the fence. They know they were comfortable with me. They wanted me to sell their home for them, but they just weren't ready. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. And so what I would say is, okay, how do we help you? What do we need to get done for our next steps to happen? Do you need a move manager to come in to downsize and declutter it? Do you need the estate planning documents in order? What are we doing to help ease their burden? Because the one thing that I want you to always realize is it's overwhelming for them. And I just got a referral the other day, and it's a husband and wife. Wife has health issues, severe health issues. Husband has just been diagnosed with dementia. Wife still wants to control everything. Wife still wants to make sure that she is the center of what is happening, because her life is spinning out of control. And the daughter-in-law and the son are overwhelmed. And they said, well, she just won't listen to us. She's just stonewalling us. She won't listen to us. But at the same point in time, we go into senior living, and she's like, I could just bring my toothbrush and move in tomorrow, but she won't take the next steps. And I told them it's very simple. It's because she's out of control right now. Her life is out of control. And what you're doing is you're pushing her further into being out of control. You need to have her take some control back. And so I gave them some quick tips on how to do that. And the daughter-in-law said, wow, that makes so much sense. And I said, yes, I've been doing this for a long time. Remember, I've moved well over 360 seniors into senior living. I've seen everything, and I understand what they're going through. And the minute their life feels like it's in a tailspin, they're going to dig their heels in deeper and not move. And she needs to move because she needs that care, and doesn't need to be in a condo that's got an elevator on the water. Hurricane season is here. What if the elevator goes out because of power? She doesn't need to be there. And now she's seeing the love of her life slip away from her every day with a dementia diagnosis. So this is really heavy stuff that we're dealing with. And so, and the family doesn't live local, which is not shocking, as you all know. Okay. So words matter. and helping them through that. We all know that the words you either are using are fueling your business or they're killing your business. So that is the next tip for you, is to record your calls, read your emails that you're sending, make sure that they're clear. They don't sound domineering or authoritative. Being an authority on it, a topic is one thing, but being authoritative is also something that can kill you. You can't tell them what to do. You can't say, I recommend. You have to provide them with options for solutions to their problems. Remember that. I never use the word I recommend. That will come back to bite you and haunt you. We use the words, here are your options. And the other words that I use, if this was my family, this is the path that I would walk down. Or these are the options that I would walk down. Give them some peace of mind. That's what they're looking for. Number 4, be their go-to before they're ready to move. You can share stories. You could use my stories. I got plenty of them. I actually have to start writing these down because I'm going to forget them. It's just human nature.
Put them in chat.
I was like, I got to start writing all these down. I could probably have enough for a book. But share a story from your past experiences that you had. Maybe it's personal, maybe it's professional, maybe it's an agent who helped someone through all of this. These stories, if you have ever listened to Eric I want to say Menendez, but it's not. It's Menendez or something. He is the he owns the he's a really powerful educator for speakers. He owns a whole speaking business, Mind Valley. And he also owns a film studio now too. And I want to say it has something to do with Star Wars. I can't remember. However, he talks about the power of speaking and how to become a better speaker, and what they do to us from when we are children to inhibit us to become powerful speakers. So his whole point of, and me bringing him up, is he says when we were babies, we used our voice to get our attention. If you're hungry, you cried. If you had to change diaper, you cried. Whatever you mean, you spoke. Then when you go to school, you're taught not to speak only when you need to. And then once you start doing public speaking, you might have had a teacher who ridiculed you, or students who made fun of you when you're speaking, and it gave you this fear, right? And we have to get over that fear. We're salespeople. We're on 24 hours a day when we are working, and not 24 hours a day, but you get my drift. And someone last night said to me that our job is like being on an interview 9 hours a day. And I said, you know what? You're so right. We are always on when we are working with our clients, when we're talking to our title people, when we're talking through all the folks that we're working with and negotiating deals, talking about, properties, talking to our referral partners. We are on all the time. So you have to make sure you have a balance with that. And I said, you're right. It is like being on an interview all day long sometimes. And that's the part that sometimes people have a hard time with. Because within any sales position, this is how it is. And so when we're working with our clients, we want to anticipate their needs before their needs are needed and need to be met. What do I mean? Well, you're meeting with someone, and I'll give you a story. I have a couple who needs to move up to Massachusetts. They are now going to bring all their furniture up there. They're selling their townhouse and they're moving up for healthcare reasons to be near their family. No problem. And I had the daughters on the phone. We did a big, conference call with them in their home. And I brought up the fact that we need to have someone come in to help provide some quotes for them to relocate everything and move it up. And the daughter says, whoa, 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 we're not ready for that yet. And I said, I understand that you're not ready for that right now, but we're going on the market, and my market right now has picked up dramatically. We could get an offer that's a 30-day close tomorrow. And you're not prepared with how to get mom and dad's stuff up here. And it's going to be, you know, like a fire hose, right? Trying to get everything arranged, and it's going to be overwhelming. Let's get ahead of that, and let's make sure that we already have our mover picked. We have someone who's going to pack up mom and dad's stuff because they're in their 80s. They are not going to pack that house up. The daughters do not have time to come down to pack them up, and I'm not packing them up. That's out of my scope of practice. Unless they want to pay me $1,000 an hour. Just saying. Just kidding. Not kidding. So you have to know that they have to have resources. No different than someone who's doing a purchase of a home and you know they're getting a mortgage. So guess what they're going to need? Homeowners insurance. And you're immediately after they get an accepted offer, send them, here are the mortgage brokers that, I'm sorry, the home insurance brokers that I have used. Please start calling around for quotes because they're going to need it, and it takes time. So we're anticipating their needs before they happen. And if you were on my call last Friday, I talked about the guides that you would have for relocating people down here, and then the additional items that you would have on top of those guides to help people relocate to a brand new area smoothly. So that was a really powerful class. Make sure you go back and check that out. And then the last piece is consistency builds currency. Agents who stay top of mind without selling are the ones who get the call when a move becomes necessary or a senior living need becomes prevalent. You have to stay forefront. You have to stay ahead of the curve. You have to be consistent. If you're putting out content on a weekly basis on your social media, Monday is, it's a mindset Monday or Monday motivation. You can do Knowledge Thursdays. I'm just using as an example. Be consistent. Use your calendars to get your consistency out and your message out. If you're going to do a newsletter, don't do one month and then next month not do one. If you're going to do a bi-weekly or bi-monthly newsletter, make sure you're getting your content out because you want to be consistent. When you post and ghost, that's where you lose folks who are going to be in content. Now, in between all of this, we all know life happens. And when I talk about consistency builds currency, this is where you use your, if you're using Instagram and Facebook, you use your Meta. And Meta is the business side of a business account, and you can plan your calendar out and schedule it. It will also tell you on the Meta what are the most important times that people are reading your content and looking at your content. And like for me, Fridays at 4:00, I guess everyone's checking out of work for the weekend. They're checking on my stuff. That's my hot time. And Sunday nights at 7 p.m. That's like a hot time for me. That's my algorithm. You're going to have the same thing. So we're going to talk about this next week on how to find all of this. If you are posting on more than just Instagram and Facebook, and you're layering in X and you're layering in LinkedIn, you can use something like a Hootsuite or a Buffer that does the same thing. It's just a paid account that you have to do with them. And so it will post on all of those at the same time, and you could put your calendar content out. The other thing that I like to do is check my healthcare observances calendar, check the national calendar to see what's coming up, what's coming out, what's happening for the month. These are things that are very important for you because it gives you your content calendar. Utilize your AI, like your Gemini, your Plexius, your Chat GPT to say, write me a calendar content for the month of July in the senior niche. Tell me what I should post and when I should post it. It's kind of scary that chat starts to know you because now it adds in all my hashtags for me. And so it's kind of funny. I kind of chuckle about it, but at the same point in time, it gets to know you. Frankie, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's me that's breaking up or you. I didn't hear what you said about the calendars. I didn't hear any of that. You said where do you go to look at
To look at
I didn't hear it.
calendars,
I'm so sorry.
that's okay. So calendars, you can go to the National Healthcare Observances calendar, which you're going to have a lot of stuff on there that you're probably not going to use, but it's going to give you the basics. And then the second calendar that you would go to is the national calendar. It's called the national calendar. And it tells you, like, I think today is like National Strawberry Parfait Day. No, I am not posting on National Strawberry Parfait Day, but it'll tell you some other things too that are pretty cool, like the National Senior Citizens Day or National Healthcare Advanced Directives Day, when it is Elder Law Week, when is it Elder Call Day. So there's a lot of stuff that's in that that can help you build out your calendar. However, the cheat sheet on that is just asking ChatGPT to write you a calendar for the month and what you should post and when you should post it, because it'll pull all of those in as long as you put the prompt in to include those calendars. So make sure your question that you're asking is very detailed so that it can pull that all in for you. Yes, Geraldine.
Quick question. When you said chat has learned your hashtags,
Mhm.
when you do your prompts for chat, do you include your hashtags or was chat coming up with hashtags itself?
I include them, or if they forget them, I say, you forgot hashtag Naples Paradise Living.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And so it learns you and it doesn't forget. And when I do a social post, I say, write a social post. I don't just say, write a post. I make it very clear for if I'm putting it on TikTok, whatever the case is, I tell it what I'm putting it on. You have to be very detailed. Use commas and make sure that it's very, very detailed. And it will definitely work for you. And it saves you so much time when it comes time for social posts. And always read it. Please read it, because you never know what it's going to write. But it's a great tool to use to just kind of neaten things up for you. Start, expanding, make your process a lot seamless for you. And don't be afraid of it, because this is stuff that can help your business grow. And when it comes time for social calendars, it's really cool what it can put out for you. And it can save you a lot of time, a lot of time. So remember, you want to go out there today and be the guide, not the salesperson. Build trust. We talk about dropping value all the time. And remember, you're not just helping them move homes, you're helping them move forward to their forever home. This is something that is very powerful. You're helping people through a very, very difficult time of their life, that they're overwhelmed. Help them gain control of their overwhelmedness and calm that, and help them be the guide through the process. Because I will tell you, I will guarantee that when you do help people through this process, instead of getting a Google review that is this big, it will be this big. It'll go right off the page. They will be very grateful for you, and they will sing your praises from the rooftops because you helped them through a very difficult time in their life. And Heather wrote, tell your chat tell your chat in the prompt to
Do an SEO
Mhm.
optimization for your keywords, and it'll give you back a bunch of keywords that will be helpful for your hashtags. It will also put those keywords in your actual text The other thing that I've been using that's been fabulous, like I've actually noticed not on Facebook in the last week, but everywhere else that I've been working, um, if you do, I think it's called AEO or AIO, I can't remember, but it's the AI optimization because we need to use SEO optimization and the AI keyword optimization.
Fabulous. See, that's another little hint of
I
gold right there.
I have a quick question too.
Yes.
This because I love this group. Everybody's specialization. I have a prospect that I have been working on. Lovely gentleman, but he suffered a lot of loss through his life. He is now a widower, and he also lost a child before he lost his wife. He is definitely a hoarder, and he definitely wants to downsize, but financially he can't cover the cost up front. So I was wondering, because I know that there's ways to work it, it's on us if we cover that cost. But I was just kind of wanting some insight on what you guys may have experienced or done on your own to help this. I mean, you guys, he needs to get out of this house. Like it's almost becoming
Yeah.
a safety. It's a safety issue because of the hoarding.
Mm-hmm. So you can partner with some investors to cover that and
Okay.
get paid at closing. They normally have a cost, and you would negotiate what that cost would be.
Okay.
And make sure you keep detailed receipts of everything. He has a contract that he signs. Contract goes to the title company that you're using or the closing attorney that you're using to make sure that they get signed and paid for that at the end. That
Okay.
is your best, fastest thing to do. The second is if you use an estate clean out company, ask them if they will wait to get paid at the end when the house goes under contract. And they also get a copy of the listing contract, and they might charge an additional funds to do that, to hold that, because they have to pay their people. So I've used both of those. I've had this happen before with a mover for someone who had to do a whole house clean out. And
Mhm.
it was maybe, I think it was around $5,000 that it cost him to move into senior living. And he just didn't have the funds to pay. And that was our best solution. Taking the cost on yourself can be very emotional the first time that you do it, because
Mhm.
if you are in a spot where your business is a little bit, funds are tight, that can
Right.
be stressful for you because now you're trying to sell the property, you're trying to manage this overhead of cost, and then you're also trying to manage your seller's expectations because they're anxious as well. So use your partners, and that's where you work with them, and there are plenty out there that will help. Um,
Perfect.
and then also see what resources you have. If they're a veteran, reach out to see what resources are out there for that as well, and see what other resources you have in your area for that. Like I have a senior resource center here that helps with
Mhm.
certain things. And just try and see what you can do to assist with that. But I will tell you that the best thing to do is to lean on your partners to help
Mhm.
facilitate that and let them take on the risk for it, because you're going to have a lot that happens with these types of clients. A lot
Okay.
more. It's a lot more
Yeah.
emotional that you're going to have to help them through.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. But there's a will, there's a way. It get done. All right. Any more comments or questions? We are 4 minutes over. Not so bad. All right. Do y'all find this helpful today? Okay. So just to recap real quick, I'll go back to my notes. The top 5 things that we talked about today. The new authority is the educator, number 1. Number 2, senior clients don't want a pitch, they want a guide. Number 3, language shift is your power shift. Number 4, be their go-to before they're ready to move and anticipate their needs each step of the way. Number 5, consistency builds currency. Those,
Can you give us what you said as far as the language shift on the suggestion of the verbiage again?
the one thing that I always say is I don't use I can list your home. I never use that. I always use, let me walk you through your options and help simplify your next steps.
Thank you.
You could also use, let's have a power session strategy on how we can get to your goals and accomplish them in a timely manner. Also stating you can have a free consultation. Everyone's using that. You got to be different. Be the differentiator. That's why the most powerful thing that we have when it comes time for converting people to appointments is, let me do a financial overview of your home, a 360-degree view, so you can avoid capital gains. Regardless if they have capital gains or not, you could figure that out super quickly from what they paid, if they're married, if they're single.
Hold on.
He talks about that. So Corey talks about that a lot. I use it every single time, and we review it, and they love it because I am different than any other agent in my marketplace.
Okay, so now I have three things. Number one is, could you, even though you slow down, I still can type that fast. Let's have a strategy session where we walk through.
Where you walk through your 360-degree financial overview, and we take a look at your capital gains.
Okay. Okay, so now I forgot the second question. It's related to the financial overview. So I have to re-listen and ask you later. And for Heather Gorney, what was it? Talk about the AI optimization. What were you saying about AI?
So there is, I think it's either AEO or AIO. I can't remember what it was, but I literally read about it this morning, that SEO is definitely still like the number one search optimization that the internet uses. But with the creation of AI, there is now an AI optimization. So I do believe it's called AIO or AEO. Google search it. And then when you're typing in your prompt, just make sure to add into your chat prompt that you want this keyword optimized for SEO and
Oh,
AI search optimization.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry about that. I have a showing, and I have 3 very large dogs at this house. And so I want to make sure that they are following the instructions, like, do not park in the front of the house, park to the side of the house. Don't let the dogs go crazy. They'll be leaving out the back door. The fun stuff that we do. No worries. Well, listen, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Leave a comment on the Facebook page for what you found helpful for today. These are 5 things that we need to shift and pivot to. You know how much I love those words. As we are growing our business in the senior niche, and we are moving forward every step of the way. So I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day. Reach out to me with any questions. You know I'm just a text away. And let's go Slay Thursday. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, Felicia.
You got it. Bye, guys.